put out a new series, National Treasure: Edge of History. This is a spinoff, if you will, of the National Treasure movies that came out in 2004 and 2007 with Nicolas Cage, Diane Kruger, John Voight, John Bartha. I enjoyed the National Treasure movies. I've always enjoyed them. The first one came out in 2004, and then the second one came out in 2007. And we've been waiting for another National Treasure ever since. It was my National Treasure 3. We're getting Toy Story 5, but not National Treasure 3. Toy Story 5. I like Toy Story. But, where's my National Treasure? And I've always been looking for another one. And they've been on, off, on, off, on, off. And I always thought they were going to have a third one out when my sister was a senior in high school. The first one came out when my brother was a senior in high school. The second one came out when I was a senior in high school. So I thought, tradition, they'll put out a third National Treasure when my sister is in her senior year of high school. Well, that was over 10 years ago. So, we still don't have another National Treasure 3. So, there's that. But we do have National Treasure: Edge of History. I remember hearing about this and going, maybe, I don't know. No Nicolas Cage? I don't know. And after seeing the Santa Claus show that they did, that was, once again, kind of like a spin-off of the movies. I didn't like that. Hocus Pocus 2, I didn't like that. I'm like, I don't know, Disney. You haven't been giving me what I want lately. Your little spin-off legacy sequel series haven't been working. But anyway, over New Year's Eve, around the weekend of New Year's Eve, I watched the first 2 episodes of National Treasure: Edge of History, and this last week they wrapped up the first season, and let's get into it. Like I just said, I started watching it over New Year's Eve weekend. They were already 2 episodes in, and I figured, hey, you know what, let's just, holidays are over, Christmas is over, no more watching Christmas movies. It's almost the end of the year, so wrapping up movies in theaters. Let's start watching this National Treasure. Why not? At least it's something, in the IP we know, I know that I enjoyed the movies. Let's give it a shot. Why not? And I enjoyed it, actually. I think it's been the best thing that Disney has put out in terms of their legacy sequels, TV shows. And let's get into it. Positives. Number 1, I'm glad this was 10 episodes. Like between a lot of the Marvel shows and the Santa Claus show. I'm glad which were 6 or 7 episodes. This was full 10 episodes. And each episode was almost 45 minutes to an hour long. So I liked it. Really felt like a real season of something. So that was number 1. I liked how it did have some actors from the original movies show up. You had Harvey Keitel, who was the FBI agent hunting down Nicolas Cage's Ben Gates. So he returned in the first episode. And then we had John Bartha, who played Riley Poole, Nicolas Cage's friend slash assistant slash comedy relief. He also showed up in the 4th episode, so I enjoyed seeing both of them. But like I said, it wasn't too in your face of, remember him? You remember him? I know it's been a while. You remember him? Also, the pacing. I thought the pacing for the show really worked. Each episode never really dragged except the first episode, which I'll get into. But after that, I felt like the season, each episode moves at a nice pace, and I can keep doing this for as long as you want. Also, the main character and actress was that Olivia, who played Jess. That's the main character. I thought she did a good job. She showed a lot of range. Fun, charming, charismatic, serious. Almost had to be a badass at moments. So I thought for a brand new actress, unknown, and to take over a franchise like this, which is well known, was for Nicolas Cage. I thought she did a really good job, and I'll be interested to see what they do with her moving forward. If they greenlight another season, or will they figure out a way, if we ever do get a National Treasure 3, and they'll bring her into the movie. Also, if they brought in the theme music of National Treasure, or they grew up with the movies, and once you hear it, you remember it. So right now they brought instead of trying to do a completely new theme for the show, they brought back the original National Treasure theme song, which I enjoyed every episode. Negatives. Catherine Zeta-Jones plays the villain in this, and I didn't feel her in this. I don't know if they just didn't develop her enough, or what. I wasn't too big on Catherine Zeta-Jones as the villain. The first episode I thought was extremely slow. Really, the first episode and a half I thought were kind of slow. I know they're trying to, reintroduce the world, introduce all these new characters and everything else, set up the issue, the problem, the antagonist. But I thought the first episode and a half were slow for me. After that, it really picked up. Some of the dialogue in the first two episodes I didn't like either. It was very woke, very this new generation, not my generation, because we didn't talk like this in high school, or even college. But it was very the stuff that they were saying. I'm like, no. And that's almost where I started, almost wanting to stop watching the show. If this keeps going with this dialogue, this very woke generation, whatever generation that is going on right now, then I'm going to tune out. I'm going to stop watching this. Luckily, after the first episode or two, it didn't happen again anymore. So I'm glad they got it out of the way in the first two episodes. And my little final negative, it was nice to see Harvey Keitel. It was nice to see John Bartha in here. But I do wish, as a minor spoiler, that maybe the final episode, or really the ending of the show, of the season, they had another callback. Maybe John Bartha shows up again at the end. Or it would have been great to see Nicolas Cage just walk into the museum that they're in and, start talking. And there's Nicolas Cage, Benjamin Yates. I think that would have been cool. That would have been a nice, Actually, it would have been even cool if he was there already on another treasure hunt for page 47 that they hinted at the end of National Treasure 2. And they do bring up again in this show with John Bartha about page 47. So it would have been nice if Benjamin Yates, Nicolas Cage, showed up at the end already on that treasure hunt and just happened to, bump into our new characters in this show. But that didn't happen. So, anyway, I would give this a 4 out of 5. Like I said, I enjoyed it, and they do another season. Great. If the main actress who plays Jess shows up in National Treasure 3, I'll be on board. I just hope we get I hope we get an actual National Treasure 3 sooner rather than later. You know, last time it came out, I was only a senior in high school, first semester. I'm a little bit older now. So yeah. Did you watch National Treasure Edge of History? If so, what did you think of the show? Would you want to see a second season? And are you someone like me? Like you, me? Do you want to see a National Treasure 3? With Nicolas Cage back as Benjamin Gates? Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Matt here.